Hi guys, welcome back to another Craft Scraps takeover. I'm Lauren from the Craft Scraps, and today we are going to do something a little bit different. So I'm gonna take something that was given to me as kind of like a hand-me-down, something my friend said, well, you could probably do something with this. She wasn't going to do anything with it. She was just going to throw it away. And I'd just been, driving around with it in my car, and I really wanted to repurpose it. So I thought this would be a great craft. So today we are going to be taking this sign. So it says girl boss, which is cute. But really, I don't know what I would do with this, and honestly it's like a little scuffed, so we are going to repurpose this using some of the chalked up paint from Auntie Tay, and we're going to be using some HTV from Auntie Tay and also some patterned HTV also from Auntie Tay. So we're going to be taking this, we're going to be taking this and we're going to turn it into this bad boy. So cute. This was so fun, and I absolutely loved making this. So we used the paint for this part, and then we just threw some HTV on here. So this is the pattern, and then this is the regular. So I'll show you how I did this. And so really all you'll need is a sign, and you don't have to use a hand-me-down. You can use wood, you can use a canvas, whatever. I'm really just trying to showcase the pattern HTV, but this is what I had to work with today. So you'll just need some pattern HTV, whatever material you're going to put it on, and a heat source. I am actually going to use this is off. That would have been really embarrassing if I just stuck my hand on this like scalding hot iron. Today we're just going to use a regular iron because it's much easier for me to use than to use my gigantic heat press. So I'm just going to use my trusty iron today, and that's pretty much it. So let's get started. Alright guys, so to start this little transition here, so like I said, this is a hand-me-down that one of my friends gave me because she thought I could do something with it. Of course I can do something with it. See, it's like all scuffed up, and yeah, it's just not for me. And you can see I'm using this beautiful new silicone slip mat from Auntie Tay. So basically the cool thing about this is that paint will wash off of it, epoxy, all that good stuff. So glitter though, you're gonna have to work at. So I already have glitter on this. So anyways. So what I want to do with this first is I want to paint over this image. So to protect the frame, I have this painter's tape here. And yeah, I'll just use, actually, this one I have is thicker. So just to protect the frame, I'm just going to put some tape kind of like right here just to protect it a little bit. Obviously if a little bit gets on, I don't personally care, so you'll just, if you're doing something similar to this and you want it to be very precise, then by all means tape it up. So I'm really just worried about these insides here, so I'm just gonna tape these. And actually the person that inspired this project is also working with Tay, and her name's Drea, and she also has a YouTube channel. I'll link it below, but she had I think it was like trash to treasure video, and so when I was trying to plan what I was gonna do for this week's video, I remembered, oh, I had these in my car. Why don't I repurpose them to make something, that I'll actually use so they don't just sit in the trunk of my car forever, which is exactly what they would have done. So, this is perfect. So I can give this to whoever. It'll probably go to it'll probably go to my oldest niece because, you know, obviously she could appreciate the sign. It's kind of like an inspirational quote that I'm going to be doing. And so the quote I'm going to do on here is "See the world." And so my other niece, Morgan, she's only 4, so not saying that she can't see the world, but you know. Anyway, that was a really long, dumb explanation for that. So I'm using this, again, chalked up paint, seafoam green, my all-time favorite color. So I'm probably going to have to do a couple of coats of this because this is like black and it's dark. So I'll probably have to do a couple coats. I was hoping to find a smaller brush, but this is all I have. Oh, I guess I have this one right here. So let's just see what this coverage is going to look like first. So I'm guessing I'm going to have to do a couple of coats of this. So literally I'm just taking this chalked up paint and I'm just painting right over this. And the material, it's kind of like a canvas like material. I honestly don't really know what this is. It's not wood, but it's not canvas. It's like kind of like a plasticky canvas, if that makes sense. So I'm just gonna paint over this. The coverage is actually really good. Like, you can't really see, but we'll see when it dries what it looks like. I'm gonna have to get another one of these seafoam paints because I've used it in so many projects. So this is a great project. Again, if you have stuff laying around that, you know, isn't your style anymore, you know, you want to upcycle it or whatever, this is the project for you. Not only that, but we're also going to use Auntie Tay's patterned vinyl, patterned HTV on this. So keep saying vinyl. Iron-on, you know, is not just for shirts or, you know, clothing. You can also you can repurpose it to put it on wood. I've seen Tiffany from OC Vintage Charm. I think she's done HTV on like paper plates or napkins. Tiffany, if you watch this, you can let me know. But she did some really cool stuff with HTV. So HTV is not just for clothes. You can totally get creative with it. That coverage is really good, actually, you guys. Look, you can't even see. So I don't even think I'm going to do another coat because I don't think I need to. So right now I'm just going to make sure all my brush strokes are going the same way. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait till this is completely dry before I do my HTV. So I might actually come back tomorrow, but you guys won't know it's tomorrow because I'm going to edit this. But I just told you, so that kind of defeats the purpose of that. So now I'm just taking the painter's tape off just to see if I need to make any touch-ups while it's still wet. But honestly, this looks pretty good to me. What I've learned is the more I try to fix something, the more I end up screwing it up. So, I'm going to let this completely dry, come back, and we will put on our patterned HTV and our regular HTV. All right, guys, so this is now dry. So now we are going to cut out our image. So I am going to do one layer I'm going to do in patterned HTV, and then the other layer I'm going to do in white HTV. So this is the patterned HTV I'm using, of course, from Auntie Tay. Love this pattern. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this be like the background layer. And then I'm going to take this white HTV you can also get from Auntie Tay, and I'm going to put it on top. All right, so the two colors I'm going to do, so I'm going to do this patterned HTV on the bottom, and then I'm going to layer this, like, this is a kind of like shimmery white HTV on top. Or do you guys think it looks better this way? I think it looks good this way. So these are the two that I'm going to cut out. All right, so first let's put our HTV on our mat. So for this image, I don't need a 12 by 24 mat, but this is the one that is more sticky. My mats are real dirty. All right, so we are going to start out by cutting out this white first. So with both of these, we are going to mirror the image. So in Design Space, make sure you mirror your image for both of these. These are both going to be weeded like normal HTV. So we're going to mirror them, put the shiny side down, and then weed the negative space, flip it, and that's how we're going to put it on there. So I'll show you step by step, of course. So I'm putting the shiny side face down on the mat. And I always get questions on this, like, why are you mirroring, or, why can't you just, why do you have to mirror? Why? And it's because we want to cut out the image out of the iron-on, and the other side of this is the carrier sheet. And so when we put it on our sign, we have to flip it. So to make sure that it's not backwards, the only way we can achieve that is by mirroring the image. So hopefully that didn't confuse more of you, but all right, so we are using the iron-on setting. So I'm just gonna pull this out a little bit so I have room. And just gotta scoot this over a little bit. All right, so we're gonna load our mat. And again, I'm using the iron-on setting to cut this, just regular iron-on. And we can cut. And again, this is going to be the top layer, and then we'll cut this one out, and this is the bottom layer. All right, so we can unload our mat. So we'll take this one off. And whoop. You guys are used to the fact that I have a really small table by now, right? Okay, so now we're gonna do our pattern HTV, and again, we're gonna cut this and all that the exact same way we did this. So we're gonna flip it over and do the pattern side down, because this has a carrier sheet just like the regular easy weed that we just cut. So I'm just gonna put this on my mat. And again, the image is mirrored, so it will not be backwards when we put it on our sign. And I'm just going to make sure these corners are down. Good. All right. So again, loading our mat like we did with this one here. And we can cut. All right, so we can unload our mat. We're done with our machine. We can get that out of the way and peel that from our mat. All right, so now we can weed this. So I'll weed this one first. So all I need to do, I'm just gonna start by picking up a corner here and just pulling this. And I'm actually going to use an iron for this project, not my easy press, because my easy press is just way too big for this, and I just, no, it's just gonna be a mess. So I feel like an iron is gonna be much easier to maneuver. And again, this SVG is also from Auntie Tay. It's in her babies bundle. Okay, this has kind of become a mess. Should have pulled this off like more in sections. Okay, there we go. All right, so now I'm gonna just go in and weed out all of the stuff that we couldn't pull off. All right, so I'm just gonna weed out the middles of these letters. It's so hard to see this white sometimes. There it is. All right, so, oh, wait, no, I forgot there's one up here. All right, so this is the first layer. So cute. So I think I'm gonna put this one probably on top, and I'll have this pattern be the bottom layer. So I'm gonna cut this so I don't waste the whole thing. Where is it? I think it ends like right around here. I love this pattern. So this is the Party Time pattern. So I'm going to weed this just like I weeded this one over here. I'm going to start with a corner and just pull up. So this is just like easy weed. It's just patterned. So I'm just pulling. So again, same thing, just gonna weed out the excess. And it's really difficult for me to see. Alright, this pattern one is going much quicker than the white one, probably because I know where I'm going kind of already. But this is going by very quickly. Okay, so this is the bottom layer, or should this be the top? I don't know. We'll have to see what it looks like. Okay, so I'm just gonna clean up my scraps, get my table organized, and then we will iron this. All right, so now we are going to see how I want to do this. It's a piece of HTV stuck. There's like a little scrap stuck right here. All right, so we can have this be the bottom and this be the top. I just feel like it's a little hard to read with this on the top. Just thinking it might look better as like a accent. I think it looks better with this one on the bottom as like more of an accent, because it's kind of difficult to read otherwise. And there's a piece of glitter on here. Oh, should we get fancy and put some glitter on this after? We might just have to. Okay. All right, so we're just going to, so now this is why we mirror it, because it was cut like this. And so now we can flip it, and that's how we're gonna iron it on here. So I'm just gonna place it, looks pretty centered to me. So I'm just gonna kind of set it there. I'm gonna use this this piece of, I think this is like Teflon paper, and I'm gonna use my iron. So I have it on the hottest setting. It's been heating up, so it's pretty warm, and I'm using my iron because it's gonna be much easier for me to press than if I was trying to do this with my easy press. And I am only going to press this for a couple of seconds in each section because I don't want it to shrink too much, because I want the proportions to still be kind of, you know, in line when I put that on top. So again, this is the Pattern HTV, so I'm just pressing it like I would with normal HTV. I'm just going to press this for a couple of seconds, and I'm going to just move it around section to section, because that's the only thing with the iron is I can't reach every section. Right, and because of whatever this is made out of, it is making it a little more difficult for it to stick. So I am going to put some more pressure on here and heat and hold this down for a little bit longer than I normally would. Because I don't know what this is made out of, but it is making it quite difficult. And that's the thing with, you know, trying to restore something or not using a typical material, sometimes we fail. All right, so we're gonna peel this off, and most of this is sticking. The only thing is this little guy up here doesn't want to stick, but we can fix that. All right, so we have our first layer down. So to get this to stick, because of this material, I did have to use a lot of heat and pressure, but once I just kind of let the iron do its thing, it was able to stick. Most of it was anyway. This one is just giving me a problem, but that's okay. So now I'm going to put this one over it. So I'm going to offset this pretty good so you can really see that pattern HTV behind it. All right. Actually, all right. So now, and also I don't think I really need this Teflon. I'm just gonna throw my iron straight on here because I think it really needs that direct heat. So I'm just putting my iron on here and holding, giving it good pressure. And again, it's on the hottest iron setting that it can possibly be on. Let's see if this is ready. All right. So most of these look like they're good to go, except for these little guys are giving me the hardest time. All right. All right, so we're just gonna pull this off. All right. All right, so I know that was a little touch and go, but I love this final product. The patterned HTV totally made this look so good. And so remember what this looked like before. It was kind of beat up leftover sign, and we have made it repurposed. So pretty. So pretty. Ooh. Ooh, yeah. All right, you guys, so how cute did this turn out? So I know it was a little touch and go because of the material that I used. Other than that, this pattern HTV is great to work with. I probably should have used like a canvas or something, but I really wanted to repurpose this, and it ended up working out. And you know, I kept that in there purposely. I could have, you know, edited that out to make it look like it was just perfect and easy, but I don't think that is, that's just not how crafting is. Crafting is experimenting and messing up and, you know, really having to get creative and course correct and just be patient. So I wanted to keep that in for that reason. So anyways, I hope you liked this video. I hope you go get some of this beautiful patterned HTV. Don't forget, you can use my code, the Craft Scraps, all lowercase, to get 10% off. No pressure to use my code as always. And go follow me on Instagram. It's at the craft_scraps. I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube, all that good stuff. I'll put all my social media below. And I think that's it. So happy crafting.